this is Vinayak Mathur from VM Graphic Solutions, and I'm back with another tutorial today. In this video, I'll be teaching you exactly what you need for taking out a render for a basic video, including an intro, main content, credits, and an outro. So let's fire up Premiere Pro. Till the time this gets loaded, I would want you to bring your attention to my website. I have recently started my business, which is from the name of Video Enhancer. Here you can find video editing services, motion graphics, and except of these all technical stuff, you can also find simpler day-to-day usage stuff like background animations. This is my site, enhancervideo.in. So you can view our site, come to what we do, and look at all the stuff we are going to help you with. So let's come down at this: video editing, storytelling, motion design, consulting, documentaries, short ads, background animations, music videos, branding, rotoscopy, chroma key, and color correction to get technical. So you can contact us, visit us, tell us whatever your suggestions be. You can also book us online for video editing and motion graphics, and also I have a list of background animations already been uploaded to my website, like these flickering diamonds. If I go into this, you can see there are multiple colors, and you can also get a personalized colors on request, and these are as cheap as 500 bucks, and these can be used as a background for your PowerPoint presentations, your motion graphics videos, everywhere and anywhere. So this can be used even by a corporate person and a student itself. So this is the most wide scale product we have, and if you're suppose shooting a personal music video, you can give us the raw footage, we can edit your footage for extremely low rates. And if you come to a website and sign up within the next 3 months, that is, you put in your name and your email and subscribe to us over here, or you can just scroll down, and even when you load the website, there will be a pop-up saying join our mailing list. Once you join our mailing list, you'll be entitled to get into what we call as VIP access, and you'll be getting coupons, discounts, referral codes, and the more somebody uses your referral code, the more discount you get. So for getting discounts and all, do subscribe to our website. And we have been recently worked with Tag Labs and Space Monkey Media Project, and I've also worked on Auto Expo, where I have done over 900 videos. So in total, we can say that when we say we can do almost everything you need for video needs, you should trust us. So let's get back to Premiere. Let's fire up a new project. I'll say tutorial, and in location, and by the way, this is Premiere Pro CC 2015.4. Most of the features and the UI would be similar to all Premiere Pro CC, but some variations can come with CS6 and below. So in the location, I'll be choosing the folder I've already created for this tutorial and select folder. Scratch test ingest settings are too professional, so for a startup level, this is not required. If you're dealing with high definition footage, capture format should be selected to HDV, or DV is still fine. Then I'll click OK. This will create a new project for us. Yeah, so this UI might be different for you because this is my work computer, so I have specially made this according to my preferences. But suppose if Premiere has a built-in user interfaces or workspaces, what you call, for each purpose you might think of, which is mentioned as assembly, editing, color, effects, audio, all panel, library, titles. And you might see Vinayak editing, that is my custom workspace. You can create your workspace and then put it as a custom workspace, so Premiere will save it for you for the next time. And if you're new with the user interface, and I'll first recommend you to go to the user interface video of mine, or for giving you just a gist of it. These are panels. Everything which is getting selected in this blue is a panel. You can have multiple of them. Each workspace would have more or less, but it is all dealing with the same panel structure. And suppose whatever UI you get, there are 4 to 5 things which are extremely necessary, which you should see on your screen. If you're not able to see those, go to window, go to workspace. You can have reset to saved layout if you ever saw this kind of layout and then you jumbled up, or else you can physically just tick mark whatever you need and whatever you don't need. Like if I don't need audio meters, I can just click over here, or sorry, these are the predefined. You cannot change these, but you can obviously add more of them. Like I got the lumetri color panel which I selected, and I can also remove it. If I come here to these 3 lines, these are coming with every panel. This shows the options to remove this. So let's go and undock panel first. So you can, if you're dealing with multiple screens, you can have multiple windows and you can just throw them to the second screen. And as this is a beginner tutorial, I don't feel the necessity to show you that, because probably you're just starting up. So if you want to close this, again come back to this, close panel. So everything and anything which is like the seconds of an app which you use, if you want to get into the setting of each panel, this is where you have to come to. Now suppose you just jumbled up, like this is the save layout for me. Suppose I just jumble this up a lot, right? Probably you won't even be able to understand where did I take everything. Let's add some more stuff. Let's add info, and probably like this. Probably I'll add history also. So I'll put history over here. So the complete UI has just gone messed up. How do you want to come back? Just go to window, come under workspace, go to reset to save layout. You're back. Suppose if you temporarily want to bring up the project panel above and the source clip down, I'll tell you what each of them does, but suppose you wanted to shift their places. Just click on the tab, bring it above. You see there's an highlight coming over each panel as to where do you want to dock it. If I dock it here, it will be in between the source panel and the program panel. If I come over here, it will be as a tab structure in with the source, effect controls, and the audio mixer. Like you have multiple tabs in Google Chrome and other browsers, this will act the same way. So let's just leave this, but this has a 50-50 structure. So what do I have to do to bring it with the same line? I'll click over here, and so I have all of them in the same panel, each tab in the same panel. So and now I want the source panel to come down. The same thing, I'll put it in the top bar. When you see it blue selected, just leave the button and you've got it. Now if you're like I recently did this, I just enlarged the panel and came back. How do you do that? There's an tilt key below your escape button in Windows. I'm not sure about Mac, but you can just press that back and forth, and wherever your mouse is pointing, it will enlarge and put that back into the same space. Okay, so let's reset the workspace as per what I had. So now if you're working with, probably you are working with footages. So all your footages which you are being working with will be imported into this project folder. So I'll first import the footages and then carry on with the tutorial. I have a folder created with all the files I'll probably need with this tutorial. You just select those, open. There's a video on how to import files. You can go on my channel on youtube.com/c/capital V Vinayak capital M Mathur 1996 and see those tutorials. Otherwise, you can just simply double click over here or Control I. Those will do the same work. In Premiere Pro CC, you can just hover around the footage and you can see what all it has got. This feature is not available in CS6, so probably you'll miss this. Anyway, so this is the footage which will be required by us, and now this is the first step of any video editing procedure you're going through. This is the first step, importing your footages. And possibly if you are using multiple footages, like you have 10 to 20 and then you have graphics and then you have audio, multiple stuff, I'll probably ask you to organize it with this what is called as a bin or a folder, so that you are quite organized. Or else if you have 100 videos, you'll be searching for them and get mad. Video editing is already too much to get mad with. So anyway, let's not get into it. The second step which we'll go through is what is a sequence. You can see here it shows timeline in brackets, no sequence. There's nothing over here. And probably if you know, Premiere Pro is a timeline based software as After Effects, and if you're dealing with Final Cut Pro, these are all timeline based. So you're theoretically working on, or basically telling the computer to show this with respect to this time. So in Premiere, that timeline is known as a sequence. A sequence has a sequence of clips arranged together. Or suppose if I am editing a movie, the sequence will be my final movie, and in the sequence there will be multiple shots which I can rearrange, add, delete, extend the length, and all that fun stuff. So the theory behind the sequence is, there are two ways. You can just click and drag it and drop over this timeline, and that will create a sequence. So you see there's a timeline now, but this will be taking all the settings, that is the frame rate, frame size, etc. from the footage we import through. But if you want to have a custom custom settings, like if I have got footages which is 4K and I want to put it or squeeze it into a full HD frame, then if I just click and drag the 4K footage, the sequence will be of a 4K setting. So in that case, you have to physically go into sequence and then sequence settings if you just did this, or else you can just go to file, new, sequence to create a new sequence. When you create a new sequence, this will have to ask you multiple stuff, and that is in the settings panel, or Premiere gives you a preset which is quite large. You just have to, for the startup level, just come into HDV. This would be the most which you'll deal with. Otherwise, for the professional level, you also have R3D cams, Canon digital SLR, AVCHD. There are a couple of them. So currently, as this for a demo purpose, so I'll just work with the sequence I just created. So I just imported my intro footage. So by the way, I just played it by pressing spacebar. So this is one clip. If I select this is one clip, This is the video which says V1. This is the audio A1. Probably in Premiere CS6 you won't find this microphone. This is for voiceover recording. If you just forgot in the studio to record a dialogue, you can just add in over here rather than going back to the studio, adding it, then putting the audio file to render and then bringing the audio file. That will be too cumbersome. You can just create a new layer by just, or probably just overlap the recording right here. So this is the audio. You can see the waveforms. This is the video. Now this is the technical stuff which is all done. Probably one thing left. If I just clicked over here and I bring it on the source panel, here I get an easy option to put a section of, select the section of a video which I need and then put that into the sequence. Suppose I have a footage where I just require 3 seconds of which, and rather than putting into the sequence and then cutting those 3 seconds and using much more processing power, it is better that I put it into the source panel. I bring this drag head to wherever desired location is. This is where you see the time. This is in the format that the first 2 digits are the frame, the second 2 are the seconds, third ones are the minutes, and the last hours. Depending on whether if you have chosen 25 frames per second or whatever, this would be, if I go over here and add 25, I'm not sure what the settings is, but if I add 26, this should probably get into 2 seconds and 1 frame and 2 frames, sorry. Yeah, so this is a 25 frames setting footage. So this, when I just added 26, this went to 2.202, right? So anyway, so this is the technical stuff, which is, if this is only required if somebody says that I want from 4 second to 5 second of this clip and then 1st second to 3rd second of the second clip, then this method is okay, that you are coming to the same location, like 2 second, I put I for input, and then I put down 25 frames by using arrow keys, and the moment it gets 3 seconds, I'll put O for out. So I have selected the portion of the video. I can just drag the video file, I can just drag the audio, I can even just drag the whole video and the audio file together. If I want them separately, these are the buttons. If I want them together, I can just click in the center, bring it, and if you see close enough, when you come close, this snaps together. So just leave it here. So you have got a section of clip, don't have a full video. So source panel is basically just used to select the portion of the clip before you put that into the timeline. The program window will show you the final output depending on what sequence you have built. So if I play the sequence, the program monitor will change. But if I play the source file, it is irrespective of what is placed in the timeline. That source file is basically just playing the footage you imported. So right now I'll delete this second portion, and so yeah, we have imported the intro portion of our video. Then I have the video which I'll use. Just drag that ahead and slide it to the first video. Now you see there's this yellow, this red. These just show that these aren't the rendered file. These are using processing power of your machine right now to play. There's an option, if you press enter, this will start rendering. This is not the final exporting rendering, but this is just to, so that there's no drop of frames while you are just scrubbing through your footage. This is a good idea if you have imported all your footages as per desired into the timeline and then just rearranging them and doing the preview. So just before you do the preview, it's a good idea to just press the enter. What will that do is there will not be a lag or a drop frame. because a drop frame can create a dramatic amount of jerk. So now you see there's a green line throughout the footage. Use the scroll wheel to move ahead and backwards. See, this is the progress bar. You can just use this also. And if you want to resize, come between the two tabs and just drag over. Come between two tabs and drag over. And if you want to see the whole footage in one section at once, just click on the edge of the progress bar and drag forward. So this will squeeze up the time and show you the small ones. And if you have to do refine edits, do the reverse. Bring it back. So it will even go till the point of single frames. So now I have an intro, I have the final footage, and probably I'll now need a title, credits, and then an outro, and then probably we'll export this footage. So for creating a title, there's a shortcut Control T if you want to create a still title, or else if you want to go to title, there are a couple of presets like default still, which I talked, which is the Control T, default roll, and default scroll. The difference between roll and scroll is, in roll the text will be scrolling from down to up, and in scroll it will be moving from right to left. So in this video I'll be creating two text samples and then placing and showing you the difference. So go to new title, under title, click on default role, select the settings, and because the footage is 25 frames per second, I will probably use 25 frames per second. And but that doesn't really matter with text because there's no moving graphics which can produce jerk, but it's always a good idea to work with the same settings. And you can name this title. I'll put the title as role, and here you go. So in this, these are the grids, or what we call as the title action save for the videos. You shouldn't put your text outside these lines, which can be cut by a video player depending on the screen size you're watching out. So anyway, so by default you see a text cursor moving. So wherever I click, there will be text, and there is a gray background. The logic behind it is that it is picking up the frame on which your playhead is. Like if I just clicked over here and put my frame ahead, the frame over here will change. So suppose I want the text over here, so I can just come here, place my text as wherever I like. Suppose I want to put the text over here, right? And I just randomly add text without even knowing what I'm typing. Just keep on typing a lot, probably just till the point you see the last letter, and then press enter. Keep on typing, keep on pressing enter, keep on typing, keep on pressing enter, keep on typing, keep on pressing enter. I'm just doing this for practice. This is basically used in credits. So if you have credits like video editing, audio editing and stuff, you'll just put video editing dash whoever did that, enter, audio editing dash whoever did that, and enter. For now I'm just typing without even knowing what I'm typing. So basically in rolling you have to press enter after each line you want, and suppose I've created about 6 to 7 lines, which is okay for me, and then I'll click. So for just confirming this is roll, I'll just come over to the second button over here in the title panel, click over here, this will show roll, click OK, close this, and you've got the footage. So if you scrub through, this should probably show you, but this isn't working, I guess. We'll see. No, this isn't working, so probably we have just skipped a step. I'll delete this one. Again, go to title, new title, default role, 25 frames per second, Okay, I'll just click over here, type, enter. Yeah. So now you see, you just, sorry, that was my mistake. You just don't have to click and drag. You just have to click wherever you want the first letter to be. Type the first line, press enter. Second line, press enter, and you should see it moving. Like, don't worry about the gray part. That will be just for idea. So I've got some 10 lines. So now when I close this and come over here, you should see the text moving. So it is rolling to the top. So we have created a title sequence. I'll just click and drag as usual for the normal stuff. And if I want it on top of the video, you can do that by putting on the layer V2. Probably you won't prefer that until unless you have an ending graphic and you want to place it above that. That's a separate scenario, but probably on the main footage you don't want that. But that's an option. That's your creativity. Where do you want to place it? But for this particular video, I want it at the end. So I'll put it at the end. And the same story, it has red in color, so probably I'll have to press enter and then come back to this. And so I'm done with my intro, I'm done with my main footage, I'm done with my text. What I'll do is I want to put my outro also, and I'll use my intro footage as my outro only. I'll just click and drag. So now I have my intro footage also. But yeah, now you'll notice that the first intro footage was so big, but this is so tiny because I've already created a section of it. So what I'll do is I'll delete this. I'll just drag these to the start and to the end, and now I'll drag it, and this should be the same size, right? So if you think I'm too fast, you can just rewind the video and see it, or if for any other queries you can just put that below in the comment section on the YouTube, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So now I have my intro, my video, my title sequence, my outro. Now if you come to the joints where the intro finishes and the main video starts, or where the main video finishes and the text starts, you'll find a jerk. You saw that? First it was gray and then suddenly it turned to colorful. The same way from white it is black. Then from black it is suddenly in colors. So what I'll do is I'll prefer to put diffuse. I'll probably right click and put default transitions. This would be diffuse. So insufficient media address transition will not contain repeated frames. Okay. So that's okay. That's because I have smaller footage. Sorry for that. But if I just zoom into this by putting that back, I can select the cross dissolve, and if I am on the selection tool, I can increase the duration of the transition or reduce it. For this is the perfect size for me, and for the audio this is going well. And also if somebody gives you still graphics and a separate audio layer, or says that in this video I don't want the default audio which is coming along with it but a separate audio, what you can do is just click on the footage, right click, unlink. So now you can select the video separately. Just delete the audio, put the new audio, sync it, and then you're good to go. And I'll put the default transition again over here, so there's no jerk. And so this was the default transition, the dissolve. If you come over here, there will be an effects panel. Here you can see video transitions. There are tons of video transitions. You can select any of these, drag to the edge of the video and leave it. So now you'll see this. So I put in a 3D cube spin. So this is what the transition will look like. So if you want to change the settings, again, zoom a bit, double click over here, set the duration if you want to increase or reduce the duration, or probably do the same stuff, drag it, or come over here to effect controls. You'll see that A and B, this shows that this is the starting frame and this is the ending frame, how that will transit. So alignment at end at cut, center at cut, this is just for your preferences, where do you want it to start from. And if I want to reverse, I can do that also. So this is how that will work. So you put any transition at the edge, you go to the effects, and that will show you the settings how to play. The difference between a video transition and a video effect is that when you put a video transition, without you even going into the effect controls, you can see what is going to happen. But if I just suppose come back and I show you, I put a curves adjustment, that is a video effect. There's a search bar, you can just search whatever you're searching for, or manually go to color correction, go to curves. So curves, where you, why am I not seeing curves? Probably I'll just type over here curves. Yeah, so it is RGB curves in Premiere. In After Effects it's curves, so probably my mistake. I'll just click over here, I'll drag it to the main footage, drop it, it will go white. But if you see, there's no change except the fact that it has got red in the progress bar. There's no change, the footage remains exactly same. But if I go to effects control panel and do the changes, then the effect will happen. Right now I just darkened it, you can brighten whatever you're doing. So the effects depend on what you're working with. But suppose I want this to go from dark to bright, I'll have to create a keyframe. Like I'll just drag this stuff right here. So you get the selected portion of timeline over here. Like we are near 115, we are near 115 over here also. So you drag it over here, this will also move. Suppose from this point I wanted to go from dark to bright. So first I'll make this dark. I'll create a keyframe by putting this toggle animation or the stopwatch. So this is the portion where I'm telling the computer that this should be dark, and after suppose these many frames, this should go bright again. Sorry. I just clicked on the stopwatch, which if I did that, my animation will go. So this shows me an error. So I will do you want to continue? No, I don't. So cancel. And I have the keyframe intact. Now what I'll do is increase the brightness and now put a keyframe. So now if you transit, sorry, some mistake. Why isn't this moving? Probably I'll show this with a different example. Rather than putting curves, I'll simply show position or scale. Suppose I want the scale of the video to go from 50% to about 100%. So there are two keyframes built. So you can see the video starts from 50%, goes up to 100%. So an effect will only work if there is a keyframe or you have done changes in the settings. But video transitions, you can just directly put it from effects and drag it onto the video. That will work as well. Alright, so the difference between a transition and an effect is you have to change the settings of an effect to work, but a transition can just work without doing that. You can just drag and drop, it will work. An effect will not work by drag and drop. You'll have to drag and drop, go to the settings, change it, and then it will work. So probably for now I'll just click bring back the animation that was just for demonstration purposes, and this is our original footage which we built. So probably in this video right till now you should have known how to import video, how to put selected portion of the video into the clip, create new clip, and arrange videos. Probably you can just select it, move it to different layers, ahead, back, whatever you want to do. I'll just press Ctrl Z to make any changes, and that's it. So now we'll see how to render this video out with audio. So yeah, suppose if somebody gave you a footage and told you that I want particular 3 seconds of the video, then I showed you what to do. This is the timeline. You go to that portion. Suppose from 4720 I want it to 1. I'll come here. This is a razor tool. Creates a cut. So I can create over here a cut. This will just create a cut in the video because we had unlinked the footage. But if you want it on the audio as well, you'll have to do it again. Probably I don't want it in the audio, so I'll just Ctrl Z and let that cut be over here. And now I want to go to first second. Cut it. Select V, press V for selection tool. I can delete this. Probably if I had done this, I had cut this, I could have stitched this back over here. But the point is you can just cut the portion, delete that, or do the reverse, cut the portion, delete the rest, and render that out. The point is that is how you create the section of a video which you want. I'll do Ctrl Z twice for this. So this is all ready for me. I'll just export. For exporting, you have to press Ctrl and M. So this brings up the panel. Over here, you have to select the format in which you have to get the output in. Probably H.264 is widely used for broadcasting YouTube and stuff. So I'll go over here and H.264. Output name, put your output name, select your final destinations. Like I'll go to tutorial over here, click save, and this is already existing, so I'll just change the name. Final, sorry, no, sorry, yeah. So I'll go to desktop, tutorial, final out. It is an MP4, cool, save. Rest of the settings should be fine. These should be fine, but if somebody says that 120 MB, this is where the file size shows. Somebody says no, 120 is too big, I want something around much less than this. What you have to do is come to bitrate settings, put a lower value of target bitrate till the point you see the desired file size, and then click export. For me 120 MB is fine. I'll click export. Make sure if you want the audio, the export audio is also selected. Click on export and you go to Premiere will do the rest work. Also, till the time this happens, I would request you to go to my website enhanceyourvideo.in. Check it out. If you like it, go and subscribe to it. You'll probably get discounts if you want to buy something. And also go to my YouTube channel, subscribe if you haven't, because there are a lot of cool stuff and there will be more coming up, so that you don't miss it. So do subscribe to my channel, like this video if you liked it, hit the dislike if you disliked it, comment any queries, and also visit my site www.enhanceyourvideo.in. The link will be in the description below, and subscribe to our mailing list. You just have to put in your name and the email address. So yeah, if I just minimize this, in the tutorial folder I should get final output. So if I play this, there's some problem with my Windows Media Player that the colors are burning, but your video is final. It's right. You can just put it into Probably this would work in your machine, but there is some problem in mine. The video will be too burnt out as colors. The colors are too burnt out, but the point is you got the full footage without it. There's text, transitions, intro, outro, and the main footage. So that's it for today. Probably this is how you'll basically create a basic video which has an intro, outro, transitions, effects, title sequence, or custom credits, and an outro in an MP4 exporting. Hope you like this video. See you in the next one. Thanks. Bye bye.